Hi, my name is Rob, and I'm recording this also on Rebelt 808A and my YouTube channel. Today I will talk about winter and climate change. I found a few articles about that, and I might talk about some of the environmental news as well as environmental registry. But I'll focus on what's the winter and climate change and why winter is important. Because I came across a few people that want warmer winters, and when talking about climate change, that was some people's responses. And then a lot of people also they were dismissive of climate change or the impacts. There was some good responses mixed in, but I want to address why warmer winters might not be such a good thing. So I'll go to news. Yes, the first article is the problem with warming winters. And this is in the Climate Reality Project. And yeah, does it have an author? Doesn't look like it has an author, but I highlighted some things in this article. And then it starts with like the assumption people make, and then that the assumption being that warmer temperatures means more precipitation falling as rain rather than snow. Then they say, well, unfortunately it's not that simple. There was the full sentence. After that, there was a sentence saying, in many instances, we need winter. Plant life cycles depend on dormant periods. Snow needs to accumulate in many areas to feed water supplies in the spring, and that's from the article. And many animals rely on snow and ice. I'll get into specifically like fish. A lot of areas, including in the Peterborough, Northern Kawartha area, they have fish. So climate change impacts fish. What else does it say about winter? The effects are complex and regionally variable. Some areas are becoming wetter, and this is a US-based focused article. Because it's getting wetter, it can lead to heavier snow and rainfall as well as more frequent winter storms. A lot of people that don't like winter also don't like the heavy snow, which it seems to be falling later in the season, impacting ski and recreational activities dependent on the snow conditions. And maybe it's just the cold that people don't like, but there's also the snow. That's a consideration. So we might get bigger snowfall, which could impact people's health. People can die from heavy snow. And if we get too much heavy snow, it can impact structural integrity of some buildings as well. And then some areas depend on snowmelt, which isn't happening as some areas are more dry. So in the southwest, we know that those fires going on and droughts. So that likely is not helping the situation in Los Angeles, which is currently on fire parts of Los Angeles is on fire as I record this episode. So, and if you're watching this on live, please feel free to write in the comments your thoughts about climate change and the winter, or climate change in general. I see that there's someone watching. And yeah, so those consequences for agricultural sector and tourism as well. And timing and duration of winter seasons is impacted. Spring is arriving. It says spring is arriving earlier, leading to shorter winters and earlier snowmelt, a phenomenon sometimes known as season creep, which can disrupt ecosystems. Plants and animals rely on specific seasonal cues, and then they might experience some mismatches in their life cycles. Like polar bears depend on thick ice, as an example, which is happening less and less. Winter storms like blizzards and ice storms are becoming more powerful and disruptive as a result of climate change, due to increased energy from the article available in the atmosphere due to broader overall warming. And then there was a quick transition from mild to severe winter weather conditions due to the variability. And let's see. Yeah, and then I know that, I'm going to get into an article that talks about fish, but I know fish depend on lakes being turned over due to the oxygen. The article talks about density, the importance of density Let's see, those. Yeah, so that's one thing. Yeah, I mentioned polar bears. Some, like, snow acts as an insulator against the cold. It, even with the increased temperature, the cold will insulate some of the wildlife. It still gets. Oh, snow will. Yeah, snow will insulate some of the wildlife from the cold. Oh, and then there was like a section called "What You Can Do." So I'll mention some of the things that they mentioned: addressing the impacts of climate change, which will require everything that we've got. Adapting to changes that are already occurring, and investing in resilient infrastructure and emergency preparedness. It says we have all the tools we need to stop warming temperatures in the tracks and work towards a better, more sustainable future for all. We need the political will to make these solutions a reality. It's important to transition away from fossil fuels and to take both local, regional, and international action. Let's see, I will go to so this article is in Sonia the Observer, and it's an opinion. It's called "The Earth Benefits Greatly for a Cold, Windy Weather." And it's by John DeGroat. It was posted in 2016. So it's saying cold weather completes the life cycle dormancy of deep sleep. Soil texture and structure improves after a period of deep freeze, resulting in improved drainage. Oh yeah, I didn't mention this. Pests like emerald ash borer that is destroying a lot of tree species. Invasive species that might impact ecosystems, gypsy moth, houseflies. They'll be reduced in population as a result of cold snaps. So we need some cold snaps to reduce a lot of the pests and some of the harmful species. Some of them provide benefits, but if we want to reduce some of the diseases that a lot of the insects might carry, or do carry, cold snaps are beneficial for that reason, and climate change reduces the number of cold weather events. I should point out that climate change and weather are two different things. Climate change is a trend over a long period of time, whereas weather is a specific instance. So that's a good point to mention. And that's particularly impacting the trees, and then if trees become weakened, that will increase soil erosion and increase the likelihood of extreme forest fires that we've seen in British Columbia, Quebec, or other places in recent years. Healthier trees have a harder time catching on fire, but dead trees are easier to catch on fire because they're a lot drier. And then snow covers some of the root systems that some plants have. Fruit trees prefer to be constantly cold all winter long, rather than being interrupted in midwinter by a prolonged warm spell. So that's some of that article, and I'll go to the next article. So this doesn't look like a news article. It's by Smart Growth America by Joseph Mendonca, and it was posted in March 20th, 2024. So relatively recently. So it says local weather patterns, including winter weather, more erratic as a result of climate change. So they're less predictable, but there will be more frequent and severe snowfall and extreme temperatures. And then it's talking those heavy snowfall and bitter cold snaps. And I can confirm that with the scientific data. If someone wants to make a comment on my YouTube video, I can dive deeper into the scientific data reports. I can make a video about that if someone wanted to dive deep. And then it says that 5% of temperature-related deaths in the U.S. were due to winter weather, compared to less than 0.5 for extreme heat events. This is okay. So this doesn't really get my point. Point across. But it's saying that it is saying that like climate change will make winter worse. So warmer world will increase the impacts of the winter. Because of the erratic nature of climate change. This article is winter is here, but it's losing its cool. It's a CNN article by Elza Rafa. Let's see. I didn't highlight this, so I'll have to quickly read it. So there's an impact on snow, tourism, winter sports, local economies, dinner plates, and even allergies. So there was a warming temperature, and there was a European report that I talked about that showed that every month of 2024, temperatures have increased. Oh, I did highlight something. Okay. Milder winters come with consequences. There's a quote, wintertime plays an important role in the life cycle of plants, animals, and insects, the recharging of freshwater supplies, and the sustaining snow and ice for winter recreation, which supports local economies. And that's by Lauren Cassie, a meteorologist at Climate Central. And then there's still going to be cold days in a warmer climate. And then colder winter will become less frequent and less extreme. And then cold snaps are 6 days shorter than they were in 1970. But there's some industries that rely on predictable cold temperatures. The ski season, they start up a month later and finish up to 3 months earlier. That's a quote in the article. And then that's $1 billion of the U.S. economy. Based on this article, and then they're saying that advocacy group POW and REI was saying that there was a 2018 study. There's the fruit tree and nut industry. There was a necessary exposure for crops to chilly temperatures. And then there's an increased exposure to pests and pollen as the season is longer. And spring is starting weeks ahead of schedule, which is a huge issue. And then I think I have 2 more articles that I'll look at talking about the cold. I see someone has joined. So thank you for watching. Let's see, and then I have 5 minutes, so I might have to do some editing. Let's see, and yeah, the next article says maple syrup is under threat, and if you like pancakes, you're not going to like warmer winter. And because this article is saying that maple syrup is dependent on specific temperature ranges that are too warm for maple syrup. There's a narrow range. They rely on heating and cooling. And then there's a quote in the article: if climate change affects days when there's huge production, we could risk having a significant impact on the flow and the final production. Sergio Rossi of the University of Quebec. And then it's important to note, warm days are not synonymous with good harvest. And then did I highlight anything else? No, I did not. But that's okay because I have just one article left. Let's see. Oh, sorry about that. I just realized I hadn't switched the screens. So I'll just repeat what I just said. This article is Awesome Angling Science: Why Fish Go Deep in the Winter. And basically, it's because of the density of water and and then because of the density of water, oxygen is stratified. The density heaviest water is at 4 degrees Celsius, and when water is warmer or colder, it floats. That's why you can walk on water during the winter time, walk on mini lakes, and fish can still be active. And then when the water column reaches 4 degrees Celsius, there's a mixing of the oxygen, and fish need oxygen to survive, and that's why winter is important. Yeah, that's let's see, video. So yeah, winter is important for a number of reasons. Fish, different species, reducing disease, and then tourism. Winter is important for, has an impact on warmer winters increase the amount of snow, but it comes later and helps reduce drought as well. So there's a number of reasons why we should care about climate change during the winter time, and I presented a couple of reasons why people should care about climate change in this video. I hope that you have a good rest of your day, and I will transition to